He's just a freak of nature. He's a guy that can make anything happen at any given time. And when you got a guy like that on your team, especially leading the team at quarterback, shoot, good luck.
Welcome back into the film room. I'm your host, Eric Turner. And in today's Cover 1 Film Room feature, we're going to break down the freak of nature, Josh Allen, and his game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a game I thought Allen dominated, whether we're talking about at the line of scrimmage, setting the protection, setting the offensive line up for success, pre to post snap, knowing what coverages are unfolding post snap, and distributing the ball via the air or with his legs, whether they were designed rushes or scrambles during timely calls or situations, and getting those explosive plays. He was the triple threat that we need from Allen, but more importantly, he didn't turn the ball over. He finished the game 21 for 30 for 189 yards and 3 touchdowns via the air. Obviously pitched in a big play, a 52-yard rush and scramble for a touchdown as well. So 4 total touchdowns from Allen. And he did all of this against a lot of pressure looks from the Steelers. The Steelers sent the blitz 44.1% of the time against Josh Allen in this game and registered pressure 38.2% of the time. So they sent a lot of blitzes. Overall, they registered a lot of pressures, but Josh was unflappable. He was able to distribute the ball via the air or just run and take off in those situations when they really needed to. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the film of Allen against the Steelers in the wild card round of the NFL playoffs. Fourth play of the game. This is after the Bills pick up their first down of the game. The Bills go to a play that they've run several times this year, but it's a different layer added to this play. We get a deep over out from Kincaid. Now, the Bills have run this play a few times this year from a few different looks. Here is the Dolphins game last week with Diggs coming across the formation, but this is more of a sail concept. You see Kincaid break to the corner versus zone defense. More of a half-field read type play for Josh, and he hits Kincaid for a big play. Earlier in the year, Joe Brady's first game as the OC, Diggs across the formation, zone coverage by the Jets. Kincaid sits over the middle, so it's a similar looking play off that jet action, but I like this wrinkle against the Steelers. So the Bills start off in a trips formation. Isabella is in the slot, and you can see that the Steelers are in corners over coverage. That little motion identifies it as man coverage. So Isabella comes back across the formation, and as the running back and extra offensive linemen stay in the block, you're going to see these two guys fire downhill, so it becomes a blitz. They kind of add on, but Josh gets that protection he needs, and that allows him to have some patience on this throw, but more importantly, to get his mechanics right. You see the little hop in the pocket there so that he could pull the string to throw it to Dalton Kincaid down the field against Rowe for the big play. Now watch the protection from the end zone angle, and I want you to watch Spencer Brown right here. He initially picks up that first level pass rusher 99, but then he sees, again, these guys are firing downhill on Josh. Watch Brown pull off and realize, okay, this is more of an immediate threat. 99's not even really rushing, but that linebacker is. So he squeezes inside, picks off that guy, and that, again, allows Josh to get his mechanics right on this play. It's really good coverage, and this throw and placement is incredibly important, and those mechanics played part in this. But then watch Kincaid on the back end. Snags it with his hands, with Rowe right there at the catch point. You can see the black sleeve and glove of Rowe right there at the catch point. But Kincaid snags it with his strong hands and then tucks it into his body away from that defender to complete that pass and play down the field for 20 yards. On the very next play, 10-15 on the clock, you can see Josh hit Diggs over the middle. And Josh was just in complete control early on in this game, hitting those guys underneath when they're open. This is another one of their staples, 3x1 set. You see the trips to the bottom, you get a curl, swing, sometimes converted into a wheel, and then just Diggs is number 3 on here, and he's just sitting in the middle of the field. The Steelers do a good job of disguising this pre to post snap. You see them rotate here, almost like a Tampa 2 type set. So Josh is looking to the top of the screen. The Steelers send this guy on a simulated pressure, so they're your 4 rushers. This guy drops out underneath Kincaid, so typically the side of the field that Josh wants to work is taken away. But he sees everyone vacate the middle of the field. Diggs replaces those guys, and he's able to get 10 yards on the play. 2nd and 7 situation here, 9-yard line for the Bills, 7:05 on the clock, and Josh connects with Dawson Knox in the end zone for their first touchdown of the game. And when I saw this play, I immediately flash back to Josh Allen hitting Tyler Kroft on a similar concept, a 3-by-1 nub tight end set in the red zone for the touchdown. And on that play, as Tyler Kroft to the top of the screen gets vertical, you're going to see the dime backer, Mark Barron, number 26, and Joe Hayden, the corner, have to decide on how they are going to defend the running back and tight end to the weak side of the formation. As Kroft gets to that linebacker level, Barron drops him, and it was almost like he expected the corner to be deep, and then he could cover the running back out of the backfield. So there was a miscommunication there, and you can see them looking at each other like, what happened? There's some type of miscommunication on how they were handling the tight end and running back on the backside of this formation, and it led to Josh stepping up in the pocket and hitting Kroft for the touchdown. This play was from 2019. And so when we flash back to last night, same thing, nub tight end set, tight end on a corner route. James Cook is just running a flat route here, and the same type of thing happens. The Steelers bring the blitz this time. They send 5, and the linebacker and the DB do not handle the tight end and running backs well. You can see that DB sit flat-footed right there, and part of that reason is Josh faking it out to Cook right there. So they're both kind of holding here, and that frees up Knox to the corner. There's no way the safety can get up over the top, and Josh throws a dime for a touchdown. But you can see the frustration from this DB. So I don't know if there's some type of miscommunication, but either way, Josh executing that little shoulder pump fake, held that DB, and opened up the window for Knox for the touchdown. But that pump fake, that shoulder fake, not only held that corner, but it also held Highsmith, the edge rusher, number 56, off the edge. So the Bills are sliding this way, and because 38 commits to rushing the passer, you see Deion Dawkins squeeze inside and pick him up. So the Steelers have a free rusher right on Josh, and honestly, probably their best rusher on Monday night. But because of that little shoulder fake, that kind of widens Highsmith just a little bit, makes him let up because he thinks that he's going to be letting it out quickly to Cook. And that gives Josh just enough time to reset and then get the ball up and over Highsmith to Knox for the touchdown. Second play of the next drive, 5:16 in the first quarter. And Josh, when he's on his game like this, he's difficult to stop. You saw him with the pump or shoulder fake on the last play, and then you see him break this tackle of the DB, a free rusher on him. When he's playing like this, he's damn near impossible to stop. And the Steelers did a great job on this play of disguising this pressure. They're sending this guy off the edge, but it's still only a 4-man rush. But they're showing all these guys up near the line of scrimmage like they are bringing pressure. And that really changed the protection up front and allowed them to get this free rusher off the edge. As they send 20 and 44 off the edge, Spencer Brown has to make a decision. He makes the correct decision, squeezes inside on the pass rusher Golden. And so that free rusher has a straight shot on Josh Allen. Allen's looking to Kincaid on the out route. It's a smash concept to the top of the screen. There's nothing there. The defender did a good job of working over the top of Sherfield to take away the out route by Kincaid. And so Josh is now naturally going through his progressions, looking towards the middle of the field. Curl route right here, in breaker by Shakir. But this cover 3 sim pressure really spaced out and distributed very well against this concept. So the middle of the field is taken away, and Josh is just forced to break that tackle. He does a great job as he's working through the progression of realizing that rusher's bearing down on him, but then changing the ball into his left hand so that he could slip that tackle, get out into the open field. And right now he's still looking to pass the ball, but he decides to keep it for the 8-yard gain. This is just great individual effort by Josh, going through his progressions, breaking that tackle. That's the thing. We talked about it last week in the film room. If you want to run blitzes, you want to run cover 0 blitzes, you want to run these simulated and creeper pressures to get those free rushers, well, that guy that is the free rusher better be able to bring down Josh Allen, because if they don't, Josh is going to break that tackle, and that's when the explosive runs and passes come for the Bills offense. Unfortunately for the Bills, an errant pass from Allen to Kincaid creates an incomplete pass, and the Bills have to punt it away. But on the next drive by the Steelers, Mason Rudolph completes the pass to George Pickens outside, but the Bills rally to the ball. Taron Johnson helps force the fumble to Pickens, which gives the ball back to the Bills in Steelers territory. And so on the very next play, you see Joe Brady dial up a perfect play call in a situation that offenses practice during the week. It's called a sudden turn. So, for example, when the defense gets a turnover, a big play, and gives the ball back to the offense, they have a shot call dialed up on that play call sheet for situations like this to take advantage of that momentum that the defense created. Listen to Josh talk about that after the game.
That's a game plan play that we had in against their specific defense, and we saw the exact look that we practiced and made a heck of a catch there.
So Bills come out in an empty set, and so you're going to see Diggs to the top of the screen in slot. He's just running a seam route. The running back, Johnson, is running an under route. Kincaid is running that bender route versus the too high safety look. Shakir, I love how he releases inside, and he's running a corner, so it's a little divider concept with Knox running an under route as well. So it divides that defense in half. Josh's eye discipline on this play is incredibly important. He opens up and looks to Diggs' side. So you know this safety is going to get deep and stay over the top of that 3-on-2 coverage to the top of the screen. Great eye discipline and rhythm by Josh. And now he gets to the middle of the field. So Minka is the other split field safety. And why I said this release by Shakir was so important is because he wants to occupy Fitzpatrick. So the way that these defenders open up to those wide receivers and targets really gives you an idea on what coverage is playing out down the field. Shakir runs inside that guy, gets vertical, and runs to the corner. And that's going to occupy Fitzpatrick just enough because that linebacker is not going to stick with Shakir. His help over the top is Fitzpatrick. So Fitzpatrick drives on that corner route. The other safety is occupied on the numbers. Great eye discipline holds that safety even longer. And then you have the matchup. Kincaid versus Jack down the middle of the field. Look at the smoothness of Kincaid, and then he separates right around the 15. Watch him separate at the 15, and then the throw is up and over the top of Jack. On the money, on the hands. Great work all around by the coaching staff, understanding the situation and the sudden turn by the defense of getting the ball back for the offense, but then the execution on the field by Allen, by Shakir, and by Kincaid on the back end at catching it away from his frame for the touchdown. Let's look at it from the end zone angle. The timing, the rhythm, the discipline, and eye manipulation by Josh opening to Diggs, getting row number 25 to get up over the top of that, and then getting his eyes to his best matchup, Kincaid versus Miles Jack down the field. And the pinpoint throw from this angle, honestly, doesn't even do it justice. Up and over the top of the defender, where only Kincaid could catch this. And this is not an easy catch. Look at how he has to essentially basket catch this. Talk about hand-eye coordination by Kincaid here on a rope from Allen for the 29-yard touchdown. 3rd and 6 situation, 9:31 in the second quarter. 2-by-2 set. Quick 8-yard gain from Allen to Diggs. And it doesn't seem like much, but I want to break down the route concept, but more importantly, Allen to Diggs. So 2-by-2 set, stop route from Diggs, seam route by Kincaid. That's the Haas concept. Bottom of screen, in breaker right here by Shakir. And then you have like a return route to the middle of the field. So basically the concept they like to run versus too high safety looks. But the Steelers do drop down into a single high coverage. But Diggs has one-on-one coverage against Porter to the top of the screen. Fakes inside, makes it look like a go, and it's always a go until it's not. He snaps off the route, but the ball's right there. And that's the whole point of this play, is Allen was so on point in this game. Look at him, top of the drop, and look how early he anticipates and makes this throw. Look at how he's already starting that delivery before Diggs has even made that break. So when Diggs creates that separation by snapping it off, it's maximized because Josh anticipated the break and throw, and it was there as soon as Diggs turned around, and they're able to move the chains. And it looked like Diggs was a little thirsty. You can see him go to the sideline, to the Steelers bench, grab a water bottle, and take a little swig. Gotta stay hydrated, even when it is 0 degrees in Orchard Park. 3rd and 7 situation, 7:12 on the clock in the second quarter. And we move on to Josh's 52-yard scramble for the touchdown. And this is one of those risks that you take when you send the blitz, especially on 3rd and long, when the Bills want to push the ball down the field. This is what happens. Josh is able to find escape lanes, but I don't want to just highlight Josh's running on this play and how he's able to break the tackle here. I also want to highlight some of his teammates helping him break this down the field. So the initial play is really not there. I think he wants to hit Hardy on this over route, but because of that pressure by the Steelers and Josh knowing it's man coverage as all these guys are vacating down the field, Josh knows that if he can get through a crease at the line of scrimmage like he does, a big play is waiting to happen. But I want you to watch everyone as he gets up the field and converts into a runner. Here's Isabella. Look at him wall off his guy. Look at Hardy turn around, start to block his guy. And then watch Kincaid. Watch Kincaid down the field. This is something he does in every single game, and Josh always highlights it when talking about Kincaid. Look at everyone just convert the blockers and cover up their guy so that Josh can break this run. It put Josh in a one-on-one situation with that DB, and he faked the DB out here. I don't think this is a fake slide, but I do think sliding crossed his mind with everyone screaming it right here, but I don't think he intentionally fake slid there. Either way, he dropped that DB. Watch the DB drop to the turf like a bad habit when he hit Allen there. I mean, he just drops straight down. But a lot of other things happened prior to that. So watch Spencer Brown. Spencer Brown pointing out, hey, I have Golden. He has the big on big, which means Murray has the running back coming. You can see him communicating that. So now Murray sorts it out. He has Jack, who rushes as well. I think this is a spy. I think Rowe is actually a spy here, but he gets caught too far into the line of scrimmage and gets locked up by Torrance. So as Josh looks to escape, Torrance holds him just enough right there to free up Allen from the spy. But then again, down the field, Kincaid, Hardy, Isabella. Right here, I think Josh thought about sliding, but then realized, hey, I got a couple blocks out here. And he decides to keep it, gets upfield, and then Kincaid with the extra effort on Fitzpatrick, and then the extra effort at the tail end of that play on Peterson to spring Allen into the end zone for the touchdown, where he gets to celebrate with Bills Mafia. We're on to the next drive. The Bills are up 21-0. We're still in the second quarter, 4:04 on the clock. First and 10 situation, and the Bills get explosive to Hardy for 34 yards. And as I said from the top, Allen was so good against the blitz. On this play, the Steelers send 7, so they're sending everyone at Allen, but the Bills keep in the running back, and they keep in the tight end to block it up, and they do a good job of picking it up once Josh gets to the top of the drop. The Bills have Diggs running a blaze out, a seam read by Shakir over the middle, and then just a stop route from Hardy with off coverage by the Steelers. Josh does a great job of standing tall in the pocket, sliding up into the hallway, coming off of Diggs because of that initial look and coverage by Porter. But he sees that Hardy has off coverage. That DB is opening up, being scared of getting beat deep. Hardy snaps that route off. Josh steps up and then hops and throws it down the field, just buying enough time to make this throw against the pressure look by the Steelers. He gets the ball into the hands of Hardy, and then Hardy does the rest. Hardy is able to get some yards after the catch and get up the field for the explosive play. Just awesome work by the Bills when it comes to pass protection and Allen remaining poised in the pocket. So he could see that the pressure is coming. That dummy cadence uncovered several guys looking to rush the passer. And with the tight end and running back staying in to help, they added on other rushers. So they got 7 coming, which means one-on-one outside. And the offensive line and the skill players do a good job of picking up most of that pressure. And Josh just moves through his progressions, slides up into the pocket, buys enough time, and delivers a Hardy down the field. And we got to see some of Hardy's speed once again, this time in the receiving game, not the punt return game. We're going to fast forward a little bit. 2nd and 9 situation, 5:07 on the clock in the third quarter. The Bills are now up 21-10. And it's a play we saw earlier in the game in the first quarter. This time Josh hits Kincaid right at the markers. And it's another play that just shows you how on Allen was. So same thing, curl, swing. In the first half, Josh hit Diggs right here because the Steelers did a good job of covering up Kincaid. But Josh wants Kincaid on this play. And just the anticipation by Allen on this play maximizes that separation between the DB and Kincaid. Watch Kincaid get to the marker and then just turn, and the ball's already out of Josh's hands. He sees that this defender is going out wide to stay over the top of Cook, but that this defender right here isn't off coverage. And so Josh locks in that maximum separation by Kincaid from that DB by anticipating this throw and getting it down the field so that Kincaid can catch it as soon as he turns to convert the first down. Now, did Josh have to go to this guy? No. There are many other options here, but it's just another play that shows how on point Josh was. And even when he wasn't playing within the structure or progression of the play, he was still making plays with his arm and his legs. Third and 8 situation here. This is the 12-yard pass to Diggs for the first down outside of structure. But just another example of how unstoppable Josh was in this game, because Brady dialed up a play that was there for Sherfield off the snap. So let's break it down. Initially, Steelers showing a too high safety look, and they disguise it really well. It's man coverage. They disguise whether it's going to be 1 versus 2 high. On the snap, Minka initially shows deep, but then he comes back up and is essentially a robber over the middle of the field, and he plays right near the sticks. And so that's a very good disguise in changing the picture pre to post snap. But either way, Josh has to stop route to Sherfield. Fire it out there to Sherfield, one-on-one with that DB. Given how much space there is, I assume that Sherfield is going to break the tackle. But if not, maybe he's a yard or two short. And given the field goal kicking and the location of the ball, they're probably going to go for it anyways. Josh has a play here. He bypasses it. So by bypassing Sherfield, the next guy in the read is the deep over by Kincaid. And that's open. But I do think that Fitzpatrick being down in that area really deterred Josh from making this throw up and over Fitzpatrick. But there's a case to be made that if Josh throws it up and over with some touch, Kincaid's going to run under it for a big play, maybe even a touchdown, given where the safety is to the top of the screen. But Josh bypasses those first two options, and then he looks to these two in-breaking routes. They're not there, so Josh gets outside of script, gets out of the side of the pocket, and ends up finding Diggs, uncovering late versus Porter. But just another example of Josh being unstoppable and unflappable versus the Steelers in this game. Third and 8 situation, money ball, down. Play is there for him. He doesn't take it, so he takes it into his own hands, and he's able to find Diggs late in the play for the first down. First and 10 situation. We're now in the fourth quarter, 9:04 on the clock. The Bills are only up 24-17, and Allen once again takes it into his own hands for the 13-yard rush. This looks like a zone read play where Allen probably was supposed to give it based on the look. So on the snap, Highsmith shoots inside, so Knox just washes him down. And I'm not sure if Josh is then supposed to be reading Rowe right here, because if he is supposed to be reading him, this is likely a give. He's so far outside, you likely give it to Johnson and let him get up the field for the yardage. But Josh keeps it, and it works out because Dawkins gets to the next level, picks up that inside backer, that inside defender, and then now you pick up the extra blocker, and you have the +1. That's a hat on a hat. And you have the 13-yard gain by Allen. So it works out in the end, right? I'm not sure if Josh is supposed to be reading a second-level defender here. Either way, the Bills pick up a hat on a hat and allow Josh to become the runner here to move the chains in the fourth quarter. Now on to the final play of this breakdown. Khalil Shakir's 17-yard touchdown to put this game away. This put the Bills up 31-17, and it's a play and route that the Bills like to run on second and third downs, especially if they are seeing the blitz, because Shakir's under route across the middle of the field will be right behind the presumptive blitz of the defense. All season long in the film room, we've talked about how teams like to treat second down like third down. A lot of times forcing the Bills to get the ball out hot so that they can't pick up the first down, and they are forced to see third down and not skip it. On this play, the Steelers have that same thought. They send a 5-man pressure, but Allen takes the profit. He hits Shakir over the middle, and Shakir does the rest. So let's listen to what Shakir said after the game and then break this play down.
Yeah, just a shallow cross. My job is to get across the field and show eyes if they do bring any sort of blitz. And Josh put it right on me, and I don't know, dude hit me, and I was able to just stay up and make a play from there. And, you know, everyone else continuing to play as well. Everyone else finishing the play, throwing blocks, and then I was able to get in the end zone.
Let's break this play down. 2nd and 9 situation, Bills in a 3-by-1 set. They send Dawson Knox out wide to the top of the screen, and it's a linebacker that's matched up with him. So early indications are they're in man coverage, and early indications are that they're sending the blitz, and they're sending it from the top of the screen, from the right side of the formation. And you can see that because of that defender and how there are 2 over the top of him when the Bills only have 3 eligibles to the top of the screen. So early indications are that a blitz is coming, and Josh sees it and knows it, so he slides that protection to where he thinks the blitz is coming. On the snap, that's exactly what unfolds. They send that slot defender, so they send a 5-man pressure, and the Bills are able to slide out wide to pick it up. Brown picks up the end man on the line of scrimmage. Torrance is disciplined and waits it out and is able to pick up that slot defender, so it's blocked up really well. The Steelers on the back end do a good job of passing off this coverage. So this defensive back lets Minkah Fitzpatrick know that Shakir is running that crossing route right here. So he's running that crossing route as Diggs gets up the field vertically. And so Fitzpatrick is now responsible for Shakir. And that's fine because they have help for Diggs. That defender's outside and over the top, and then you have Rowe robbing that route. So Diggs is essentially bracketed here. And that's why this throw by Josh and this decision by Josh is so important. He took the profit on this play. He read the blitz, assigned the protection, in rhythm, hit Shakir underneath, and took what the defense gave him. He made that split-second decision, that immediate decision to throw it to Shakir, and he got it to him early so that Shakir could break this tackle, maintain his balance, and then do the rest after the play with the ball in his hand to score. Here it is from the end zone angle. There's Josh sliding protection. Brown gets it. He says, yep, that slot defender's coming. Let's keep an eye out for him. So the right side of the offensive line, you can see Torrance. He's even already looking out wide. This defensive tackle is Morse's guy. So they slide. Morse picks him up. Torrance gains depth, and then once that DB commits, he's able to lock him up. It's a nice pocket. So good work prior to the snap and post-snap by Josh and the offensive line. They pick it up. Josh takes the profit. And then Shakir rewards him by doing the rest. Look at that contact balance. Terrible tackle by Fitzpatrick. Way too high. Shakir withstands it. Puts his hand down like a running back, which is filthy. Gets his bearings back. And then his teammates rally to the ball. Start making blocks. And this move right here, he broke that dude's ankles. Like, what a crossover. What a crossover by him. Because you assume he's just going to get up inside into this alley and not bounce it here. But he bounces it, breaks that dude's ankles, and gets into the end zone to put this game away. Just special stuff from Allen, the offensive line, and most importantly, Khalil Shakir. Thanks for tuning into that breakdown. If you appreciate that type of content, please smash that like button. Leave me a comment in the comment section, or at the very least, subscribe to the Cover One YouTube channel. I am Eric Turner, owner of Cover One, host of the Film Room every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And until our next breakdown, go Bills.